everyone, so today's video is going to be a tutorial, and the reason I'm wanting to film this is because I recently picked up the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette, and it's the Warm Neutral palette, and I haven't used it yet, and I'm really excited to. So there's a lot of colors that I don't have in my collection, and I just think that there's a lot that are really pretty in this palette, and so I want to see what I can come up with using it. So I actually do want to start out with the eyes because, like I said, I haven't used this palette before, and so I'm not sure if it's going to have any fallout. I'm going to start out with the Tarte Shape Tape and prime my eyelids. And I'm going to take the shade on the top that's closest to my skin color and just set that down. Next, I want to go into this shade here with a fluffy brush from the brand Polished. I'm going to work this mostly everywhere, but focusing it more so in the crease than anywhere else. Okay, I also want to go into the color opposite of that one and just make it a little bit less purple all over where I just put the first one down. Now I'm going to go into this shade here on the bottom with a smaller fluffy brush from Real Techniques. And I want to work this in the crease, but a whole lot lower, like strictly the crease, and not bringing it up like I did the other ones. Then I'm going to go into a flat shader brush from IBY Beauty and go into the color right on top of that one and work this on the outer part of the eyelid. And I'm going to do the same thing with this shade here. Now I'm just going to go into a clean blending brush and just buff it all out. I'm going to take a bit more of this shade here and put that on the same blending brush and run it through the crease. Now I'm going to put some of the Shape Tape on the back of my hand and create like a half cut crease with a very small brush. So for this I'm going to use this brush from Wet n Wild, and I'm just going to dip that in and then kind of carve out the front part of my lid. Okay, now that I've done that, I want to go into this shade here on a flat shader brush from Polished, and I might need to get it wet, but I'm going to pack this on where I put the concealer. Okay, I think it actually turned out pretty well without wetting the brush, but I am going to go ahead and put some MAC Fix Plus on the brush and go in it with that. And I've already put this in the color and then wet it. Okay, and then just to see how foiled it can be, I want it a little bit like more glimmery than that, so I'm going to use my finger. Okay, I want to use that same blending brush and just go through all of that again to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines. And the point of the cut crease today wasn't to make it like a whole different color, but just to make the glittery shade we just put on like pop a little bit more and not look so dark. Next I want to go into that same flat shader brush from earlier and mix the two darker shades and just put that on the very outer corner. And I'm going to blend that out lightly one more time. And then on my finger I'm going to go into the shade here and put that on the inner corners and like the inner part of the eyelid. Okay, I actually really liked this palette. I think that they're pretty easy to blend. The only complaint is that I don't think the shimmery shades actually like showed up that well. I don't know. It was okay. But they also, like, they just blended really well, and so I feel like they're really easy to work with. So before I finish up the eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do the face, and I'm going to use a makeup wipe to clean out all the fallout that came out of the eyeshadows. And I'm also going to make a pretty sharp line with the makeup wipe. And I'm also going to take that same shade I just used and put that as a brown bone highlight. For a primer, I want to use the Professional Pearl Primer. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation, and this is the Dewy and Smooth finish. And I'm going to use that with a Real Technique sponge. For concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Age Rewind. To set all of that down, I'm going to use the Coty Airspun Translucent Setting Powder. For eyebrows, I wanted to keep it a little bit more like a natural looking versus using the Wet n Wild pencil that I normally use. So I'm going to use this brow liner from Ico, and it's more like a felt tip. So I'm just going to use this to draw it in, and it's a lot closer to my hair color. So I think it just looks a little bit more natural. And as usual, I'm going to use the Pixie translucent setting gel. To finish up the eyes, I'm going to go back into that flat shader brush, again from IBY, and I'm going to take that in the first shade that I used and just put that all along the lower lash line. I'm going to go back into the shade with a small detail brush and use that as the inner corner highlight. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the face. I'm going to use this NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt. And I have this trio in the Fair collection or palette. And I'm going to use this Milani Tea Rose blush. I'm going to use this highlight from Kaleido Cosmetics, and it's in the shade Prom Queen. And on top of that, I'm going to use a little bit of the Super Shock Cheek highlight from ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. I'm actually going to use this with the sponge from earlier and just pat that on top where I just put the other one. And instead of using a black mascara, I'm actually going to use this purple one from Kiko. I think that it matches the look really well today. And I'm actually going to use this Kiko pencil eyeliner in the shade 08 and just line my lower waterline with that. just really love pops of color on the lower lash line. So I'm going to finish up with a second coat of mascara. So for lips, I really want them to be glossy, so I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Gloss. However, underneath it, I'm going to use this lipstick from Maybelline in the shade 540 Peach Buff. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun filming it. I really like the way it turned out with more of the purples up top and then like a little bit of blue down below. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!